With rants and raves, you'll be okay. And today is your lucky day. It is rants and raves with Gary K.
Hello, everybody. This is Gary Kayye, and I'm very excited to be joined with my old, long-term friend. I don't want to say old. We're both getting older, but friend, Mike Blackman.
Well, we've known each other for a long time, Gary.
We have Mike Blackman is the managing director of Integrated Systems Events. Boy, has it been a year for you, but you did it. You pulled off a show. You pulled off the first AV show in over a year and almost a year and a half, actually. Congratulations on Barcelona. Give me a little review of how you felt it went. I know it wasn't the show you wanted it to be, but man, you pulled it off.
Yeah. I mean, firstly, we weren't the first AV show. There was one in India. There was an Infocom in India and China in between, but certainly in Europe, this has been the first AV show since February. And in fact, it was the first show since December 2019 at this venue you see behind me, Fiera Gran Via. So, you know, a lot of happy faces from the exhibition center and the city. Yes, it was, this was a tough year. This is, in my whole career, I started in the exhibition industry in 1984. And I can tell you, this has been the toughest year of my life in terms of exhibitions. We did pull it off. It wasn't the sort of show we'd like to put on in terms of size, but it certainly was something we're pleased to have done. I mean, Gary, I think you were in Geneva back in 2004. You could have placed it an event exactly the same sort of size.
Yep.
Not as many booths, but certainly the same amount of people attending. So we had a very focused audience, a lot of Spanish people, but a lot of the Germans came, Eastern Europeans, some Russians, some Romanians, some French. So a mixed bag, but majorly a local Spanish audience. A lot of content we delivered was also in Spanish as well as in English. The feedback from the city and from the local media was phenomenal. We were covered in all the TV stations, all the regional and national newspapers covered us. We had the deputy president of Catalonia attend the event. We had the mayor and deputy mayor of Barcelona attend the event. We had several ministers from Catalonia and from the city attending the event to give support and see what we're doing and show that this city really supports us and really wants us. So yes, we had a great time. We had a great event, and we're glad we did it.
But you had over 50 exhibitors. I actually talked to a couple of exhibitors since the show. I've talked to Barco. I talked to Easy Screen, the CEO of Easy Screen. The reports are good. I mean, obviously no one really knew what to expect, but you had about 1,500 attendees live. You had a few thousand at least live. Oh, you did? Okay.
We had on day one, just under 1,500 people came in the door.
Okay.
On day two, just under 1,000 came in the door.
Okay, so 2,500. So yeah. Sorry about that. You had about 2,500 over the 2 days. And then you had the online too. So you had this digital thing going on at the same time. That's how we experienced it. And we appreciated that because it gave us a chance to see your keynote. It gave us a chance to see some of the new products as they were launched. And you just look down below, you can get a link directly to ISE Digital. You're going to head to London in about a little less than 2 weeks. And we're going to cover it. We will actually have people at that event live, in addition to we'll cover the digital. So talk about London. That's going to be a different event. It should have more people there because London is, the UK is much more open, and they've already had meetings and events, and people are people aren't wearing masks there either as much as they are in the rest of Europe.
Yeah. I mean, certainly, Barcelona, we had to wear masks the whole time, and people did that. We did the social distancing. In London, they're not as strict about masks, particularly outdoors. You don't have to wear masks. London has had events, some smaller ones there. This will be a smaller event. We're at the Evolution at Battersea Park, which many people in the AV business know from various AV events like the AV Awards, like the TPI Awards, amongst other things. Easy to get to. This event is going to be about networking. What we've heard from many companies, from many people, is they want an opportunity to get back together, to meet customers, to meet each other, and just exchange and get back to see each other in real life. So, we're providing lots of opportunities for people to meet, get together. There'll be a pub there. We'll be giving some drinks out as well around from us. So, we want to bring this industry back together, give the opportunity. There will be some products being presented and some new ones as well. But it's not the sort of product launches number of product launches you would normally see at an ISE show in February. Obviously, companies have tried in the last months to, as much as possible, to get, products onto the market, but many have had delays in actually getting stuff as well because of the delivery issues. So, yes, you will see some things, you will see some presentations. There'll be a nice program on the stage with good keynotes, good presentations, but also those networking opportunities with the exhibitors there, but with each other as well.
Well, I'm looking forward to getting back to normal. I'm of course looking forward to InfoComm in October, because that's going to be like when we feel like we're going to be back together as friends. I do think I agree with you on London. I think the biggest value of that show is going to be the networking, the fact that you actually got to talk to people face to face. And you know what? There's something to be said for the Geneva show, right? It was very laid back. It was very friendly. There was you learned a lot of new people. You formed new relationships. And I think when the gentleman, the Gerhard, the CEO of Easy Screen, said to me in my interview, he said, what was interesting about the Barcelona show is I met more people than I would have at a normal show because it was so laid back. I could literally go and just walk up and talk to anyone. And at a normal ISE, I'm so busy with my products. So in a way, this is sort of like a mental shift of mindfulness and meditation in a weird way that may reset the industry a little bit. And but I'm excited about getting back to Barcelona. Let's talk about Barcelona in 2022, because I know that as soon as London ends, if not already, you're ramping up to because that show's not going to happen in a matter of 3 months. That takes a year of planning, right? You're already planning Barcelona 2022.
We've been planning, and in fact, the rebooking for the Barcelona event started in earnest this week, but we dealt with the top 50 customers the week before. We have, I think at the moment, our sales team and our ops team, we put in a new online booking system. Those of you who exhibit at ISE or have seen how rebooking goes can remember, the queues and people lining up to reserve space. We've put that all online at the moment, and it's happening right now. We're at about number 300, and we have already space reserved that's about 70% of what the last show was. So it's progressing quite quickly, already looking to be larger than ISE 2020. We've got another 1,000 or 800 customers to go over the next couple of weeks that we're talking to on a daily basis and putting that process through. So it's looking very, very exciting for what's going to happen in 2022.
I am 100% convinced. I was going to say I'm 100% convinced. You had the last big event. You're going to have the first big event in our industry. The ISE 2020 was the last big event. I mean, there was, I don't know you probably know it off the top of your head, but it was not as big as normal, but it was it was still huge.
Yeah, in terms of square meters, we were at 55,000 net square meters at the show. We were down a little bit on the attendance from the previous year, 52,000. But if you recall, we had two situations there. One was it was the start of COVID. So a lot of our Asian customers were not permitted to travel. And then we also had people who were concerned about traveling that didn't come. But then to top it all, we had the hurricane that swept through Europe and shut down all the airports day after day after day. And I think more people got restricted from traveling because of the weather than COVID. So, And it was quite an experience, but it was great. Those people who were there and they enjoyed it. We are looking forward to 2022. As I say, we have a lot of very exciting ideas and new things we want to put in place to make ISE 2022 really exciting and something new.
Yeah, and we've already got it on our calendar. First week of February in 2022. Of course, I'm sorry.
1st to the 4th of February in Barcelona.
Yeah, and we're excited about it. It's been last time I was in Barcelona was for the World Mobile Congress. I think it was and I think that's even in a different. Isn't that in a different convention center in Barcelona?
No,
right on the same one. The same one.
Same one. The week after our London event.
Okay.
They too will have a smaller event, as we've all been suffering in this time. But they're determined, and we'll be putting an event on. It's going to happen. We're looking forward to it. Several of our people, in the Barcelona office, myself, will be attending that event. We learn from each other. The protocols we put in place for our event, things we've discussed with them as well. So, we were a test bed for them for the social distancing, for the COVID testing, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, and we'll be there, of course, in 2022. But in the meantime, check back on our site at rAVePubs.com so you can see our coverage of Barcelona, which is already on our site. And of course, in a week and a half, we will have our coverage of the London event at rAVePubs.com. Of course, you can go to ISE Europe, which is ISEUROPE.org anytime. So you can see all the stuff from ISE, from their own hybrid event, which is going to happen simultaneous as the live event in London, like they did in Barcelona. Mike, congratulations. I know you deserve a vacation. So, and I know I enjoy watching your vacations vicariously through your posts on Facebook. So I hope you have a good one. And then you jump right in the hot seat for 2022, but you'll have the first big event coming back. I mean, obviously InfoComm will happen, but it won't be as big as ISE 2022. That's for sure.
I mean, obviously InfoComm can be bigger than we just had. But I anticipate that we're in a better position in February, to do something even larger. So
yeah, I agree. Thank you very much for joining me today. Mike, thank you for joining me online, all of my followers. I really appreciate it. And thanks for everything. Mike, it's good to see you again. I look forward to when we can actually shake hands again, hopefully at InfoComm in October, depending on how comfortable you feel. I had the vaccine almost a year ago, as you know, because I was in the Pfizer trial. So I feel good about it. I just ready to get out and do something. So anyway, thanks for everyone.
Well, I will have my...
Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm going to have my second one in July, so I'm ready to travel as well.
Yeah, good. Thank you, everyone.
With rants and raves, you'll be okay. And today is your lucky day. It is rants and raves.